W is for waiting list. So when you get your MSRA results, for some specialties, you'll get a score and sometimes a banding. Other specialties, you may not get a score until the whole process is over, but you may get an invitation to interview, or you might end up on the shortlist reserve, i.e. that's the interview waiting list. So if your score isn't high enough for you to either get an interview, but you're close, you'll end up on the interview waiting list, that's called the shortlist reserve, or if you're applying for a specialty like GP or psychiatry, which doesn't have interviews and it's just based on MSRA, if your score isn't high enough for you to get an offer in any of the areas that you want, but it's high enough for you to get a rank, then you'll automatically be on the waiting list for an offer. So what I would say to you is, if you're on the shortlist reserve for one of the specialties that has interviews, keep preparing for the interview, because you might get an interview slot at very short notice, a couple of days, if a candidate that was made an offer for an interview slot pulls out. At very short notice, they'll get the next highest candidate in the ranking on the shortlist reserve. So if you stop preparing and you give up hope, you might end up that you don't do well at interview and then you don't get a job. Similarly, if you've got ranked for GP or psychiatry but you haven't got an offer and you're on the waiting list, you can keep an eye on what levels offers are coming to, keep up your hopes. You never know, hopefully you get an offer eventually.